need a pad of walls. I'm the king, heavy crown, heavy rain, cat and dogs. Homie with me if you're asking for it.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Just a minute ago, it was Jameis Winston leading his Buccaneers out of the tunnel. They're on their feet here in Tampa as the Bucs get set to match up with Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
But he's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. There's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On second down, it's Jones. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Doesn't take any great analysis on my part. It's been pretty obvious. Last couple of plays, these guys have been going in the wrong direction.
Offensive line overwhelmed on those plays. Now, I think it's safe to say going to the air here on 3rd.
Ready. Black 22.
3rd and long for Winston. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
No gain on the play there, second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
He sets to fire deep. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Out of the gun, Newton. Going back to Moore. This time he's got it complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little wrap yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Now Jameis on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Working out of the gun, Winston. Complete, he finds Bray. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Well, he made that catch knowing full well that at the end of it, he's going to catch a pretty good lick.
I guess if there's anyone on this team that can absorb a pop, it's him. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Ready, black, 22.
The give is to Jones. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 3rd down, Winston. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Dante Fowler in there to make the play. It'll be a loss of 14, and it'll bring up a 4th down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Newton now to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. Being chased out left. Airing it out for Olsen. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, here's Newton. Got his target, Samuel. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A big play there from McCaffrey, 43 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
And this one complete right side to Funchess. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Forced out to his left. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Gano the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Gano out to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
He's going to let this one go deep. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Ready. Blue lady.
A give to Jones. And he powers his way up past the 30. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Bucs on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Ready. Blue lady.
Now Winston. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. They fake the give. Newton. Looking for the tight end, Olsen, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And he will bring it back to the 4-yard line. And what a way to take over as they've got it with a 1st and goal. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Following the interception, Winston. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. K1 short. Busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here.
Ready. White 25.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Now Winston. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bucs have made this a 1-score game. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Here's Connor Barth for the point after. Barth able to connect on the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. On the return, it's Kenyon Barner. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. He gets it to Thomas. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there for the Panthers. And even 40 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Out to his left. And that'll be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Get ready. Black, 22.
2nd down, Winston. And his throw is incomplete. The tight end, Cameron Brate, was the target. And it's 3rd and short.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
Ready. Blue, ready. Where's that?
3rd and short yardage, Winston. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. Second quarter here, he has only one catch, but they have the lead. You got to think, though, he's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Well, so far, just the single catch. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a first down.
I felt that one all the way up here. How about that big man laying out and making that catch?
Yeah, that wasn't a 180-pound wideout. That was a tight end. From the 50, Newton. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Newton. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play there for Carolina. 48 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of one, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Flush to his right. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Cam Newton taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Panthers add on to their lead.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Extra point try good by Gano. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Ready.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes first down. Dante Fowler in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
That's taken inside his own 40. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game.
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Going for the deep ball. This is intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And he will bring this all the way up to the 30-yard line. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
Ready. Blue ready.
First down, Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a second down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. From the gun, Winston. And this is caught by Jackson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 22. On play action, Winston. Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick. But instead it falls down incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A familiar ring to that one. Winston to Evans for the Buccaneer first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Winston now to throw on first down. They go with the screen. It's Yeldon. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Ready.
To the air again with Winston. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Quincy Anunwa, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10.
Ready. Blue ready.
They'll throw again. Winston. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. And Barth puts it through. And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Jameis to throw it. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. A 2nd down throw for Winston. He goes underneath for Yeldon. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
4 down. Check. Ready. Blue ready.
Now whistles here before the snap. Look like one of the Bucks may have moved.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still 3rd down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Winston. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. So we come upon halftime intermission here with a visiting. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. 2nd half action underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the 2nd half.
First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. But fortunately, a Panther was able to get on this, so Carolina keeps the ball.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Panthers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. From the gun, here's Newton. And he's got his target. That's more. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a 1st down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. In for the score. And the Panthers add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise. Methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit. That was a nice little setup there off play action for the long touchdown pass.
Yeah, I've got to tell you, it brings back bad memories for a guy like me as a former defensive back, because in a playbook I knew a long time ago, we described that play pattern as draw pass 9 go, meaning fly pattern after the play action pass, trying to hit him for the deep ball, and boy, were they successful on that one. So tough because his speed is so great, you've got to make sure you don't miss any cues or keys in order to try and keep up with him.
Draw pass 9 go. That's still a nightmare to this day.
Yeah, I still wake up in the middle of the night and feel the guy going past me.
Carolina getting set to take the field. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down. The Panthers on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Out of the gun, Newton. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Pilardi now on the punt as he sends this one away. He gets away from one. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
Now Jameis on second down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Winston now. Right side caught by Jackson. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Carolina getting set to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Panthers on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Noah Spence. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Ready?
To throw again. Newton dancing to his left. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. It's then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Winston and the Bucks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 37.
Ready?
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter.
Ready?
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Bucks on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 7.
Ready?
Here's Winston. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Panthers on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 7. The shotgun snap for Newton. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves him from a 3-and-out. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
3rd down, here's McCaffrey. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10.
Ready, black 22.
On 2nd down, Winston again. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Over the middle to Evans. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them. No pickup.
Ready, white 25.
They'll go with Jones. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
4th and inches, does he get the first? You bet he does. He knows exactly where he needs to be, and he's going to fight his way forward to get a couple of yards and ensure he keeps the chains moving.
To throw is Winston.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Quincy Enunwa that time, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, Winston. Looking deep downfield. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Desperation time. Winston on fourth down. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Dante Fowler in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that when that hurt. That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away. Noah Spence in on the stop. Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves. Now, this is where they say, and he will score! Touchdown, Panthers! Cam Newton taking it in from 11 yards out, and the Panthers are able to grow their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now. Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Gano out to kick this one away. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles. It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down. Caused all of that. It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I get confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence. And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch? Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Jameis now on first down. And some room to maneuver. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along? Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it? I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win. Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. They'll run with McCaffrey. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. The Panthers on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. To throw is Newton. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Noah Spence in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. 2nd down, Winston. This is Yeldon on the dump off. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Winston on 3rd and 2. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Winston now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Winston. And a catch right side by Evans. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. One last shot now for Winston. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Cornelder. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard, your defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal, that's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Panthers, they